Add vectors. Okay, first of all, the definition of vectors. So what are vectors? Vectors by definition are basically quantities, physical quantities, which are direction dependent. So they have both direction as well as magnitude. We've got a bunch of examples of vectors in our syllabus, okay, because this is a quick recap of vectors. We are going to just quickly go over the most important concepts of vectors and then move on. Vectors. Okay. Scalars versus vectors. Which ones are the more detailed quantities? So we have vectors as the more detailed quantities in our syllabus. Scalars are more common than vectors because we've got a lot more scalars than vectors. Scalars are basically quantities that are not direction dependent, whereas vectors are direction dependent. Direction dependent, meaning the moment you change the direction of vector, the quantity changes itself. For example, let's take an example of a vector quantity. For example, force is a vector quantity. So if you have this object right over here, and let's say a force of 50 Newton is being applied to the right, for example, that means force of 50 Newton to the right. This is a complete way of identifying this particular vector. If I just say I have a force of 50 Newton applying on this object, it could be in any direction, any possible direction. So that information will be incomplete. So that's the first concept we need to keep in mind about vectors, and vectors are direction dependent quantities. Then after this, we need to move on and know a few examples of vectors. For example, displacement is a vector quantity, right? Then do you know any other examples? Just name them quickly. How about velocity? How about acceleration? Any other examples that you know? How about momentum? Momentum is also a vector quantity, right? Okay.
Yes.
Apart from momentum, you know any other quantity? Just name one more. Have you heard of vector area? Area.
Yes.
Vector area is also a vector quantity, right? Its
Yeah.
direction is perpendicular to the plane of the area.
Yes.
After this, we need to understand the fact of vector addition and subtraction, how a vector is added and subtracted, and how a vector is actually represented. So vectors are represented using an arrow. Okay, the length of the arrow represents the magnitude of the vector. The direction of the arrow represents the direction of the vector. So the bigger the arrow means a bigger the vector quantity is, the greater the magnitude of the vector quantity. Okay, right. Now after this, let's talk about addition and subtraction of vectors. Now, vector addition is different from scalar addition because in vectors, you need to add using head to tail rule. You need to you need to consider the angles in which they are acting as well. Okay, so do you recall head to tail rule? What was head to tail rule?
That one vectors जैसे कोई एक वेक्टर है तो दूसरे का जो है हेड वो अगले वाले के साथ टेल के साथ वो होगा.
Okay, good. And then how would you draw the
रिजल्टेंट
resultant?
है दैट वो जो लाइक साइड्स होती हैं वो दोनों को होंगी.
क्या मतलब right side होगी? ये
लाइक
समझा
साइड
नहीं.
लाइक टेल विथ टेल एंड हेड विथ हेड and the resultant one.
What exactly? How would you draw the resultant? That's my question. That
Uh,
didn't get my answer.
just say like we have three vectors suppose. तो फर्स्ट में तो लाइक स्ट्रेट बन गया. देन अब जो ये वाला है इसके हेड पे टेल आएगी दूसरे वेक्टर की.
What if I have just two vectors and I need to draw the resultant of these two vectors? What exactly would I do to draw the resultant of these two vectors? There's a vector acting upwards, a vector acting to the right. In what direction would the resultant be? Let's say this is 4 Newton to the right and this is 3 Newton upwards. What exactly would be the resultant? Tell me the magnitude as well as the direction.
सर ये जो सेकंड वेक्टर होता है isn't it like के हेड पे आएगा. टेल जो है सेकंड वेक्टर की वो हेड पे आएगी फर्स्ट वाले के.
You mean you connect them head to tail, right?
Yes.
Second वाले के head पे first वाले की tail आ जाएगी. Is this what you were trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, take it. So we'll just take any one vector. Doesn't really matter which one we take. I'll just take 4 Newton and then put the other vector on its head. Okay. Now to
Yes,
draw the resultant, what would be
resultant
the direction of the resultant?
रिजल्टेंट जो है वो 4 न्यूटन वाले के टेल पे उसकी टेल आएगी और हेड 3rd न्यूटन वाले पे.
सही है. Resultant basically starts out from the tail of the first vector to the head of the second vector. Okay, that's how you define a resultant quantity, a resultant vector. And then if you need to find out the magnitude of the resultant, in this case, you can see that these two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Therefore, to find out the magnitude of the resultant quantity, you need to use Pythagoras theorem. So it's going to be r squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. And just take square roots on both the sides and you will get the value of r, which is 5 Newton.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. If I need to subtract two vectors, I just use the same method, but the only difference is that the moment you subtract a vector, you just need to make the direction opposite, right? If this is vector A, vector negative A is going to be opposite of that. Okay, so for example, if I need to find out B minus A, what I need to do is I just need to add the vector B with the vector negative A, correct? Using the same technique, using the same head to tail rule. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes or no? You want me to make it or is it fine? Should I move on?
Move on.
Okay. Now after this, we need to know about resolution of vectors. How do we resolve vectors into its two perpendicular components? Okay, so how do we resolve vectors? For example, this is vector f at an angle theta in the horizontal. What would the two components of this vector be?
X and Y.
Which are equal to what? What would the values be? There's a horizontal component which you just called x, and there would be a vertical component which you just called y. Okay, how do you calculate fx and fy? Let me call this fx, let me call this fy. What would the values be? They're
So both
perpendicular
are
to each
equal
other.
to tan theta.
Which one?
Fx and Fy. Their ratio is equals to tan theta.
Okay,
And
yeah,
this
that
x
is
is equals
fine.
to f cos theta and Fy is equals to sin theta.
Fx is f cos theta and fy is f sin theta. Not just sin theta, it's f sin theta. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ratio is tan theta because sine over cos is tan. That's also fine. Right, so
Yes.
this is how you resolve a vector into its components. Now, after this, you need to know about the different types of vectors that are there. We know what a null vector is.
Yes.
So
So
what's a null
resultant
vector?
is 0.
Resultant is zero, the magnitude is zero.
Magnitude is 0. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Magnitude is zero. What would the direction be then?
Any direction.
Yeah, it can have any direction, it can have no direction at all. Both of them are fine. And how about position vector? What's a position vector?
It has a specific position in the coordinates and it describes the position of any vector.
Position vector basically represents the position of any point on the XY plane. Okay? Tells you the position of any point on the XY plane. For example, if this is point A, we need to find out the position of point A. We are going to draw the position vector of A. Now, to draw the position vector, we need to know another concept of unit vectors. Now, there is always a unit. Do you know what a unit vector is? What's a unit vector?
Its magnitude is 1.
And it is one. And what exactly is it used for?
For the direction.
For direction. To represent direction. So there are three unit vectors in our syllabus: I, J, and K. I is in the x direction, J is in the y direction, K is in the z direction. So we have I and J. Now we are going to represent this vector A in terms of I and J. Now, for example, if it's 4 units in the x direction, 5 units in the y direction. So 4 units in the x direction means that there is actually a vector of 4i in the x direction. And there's a vector of 5j in the y direction. Now that we know the two components together, we can just add them together to get the resultant vector. This resultant vector that we have right here represents the position vector of A. The position vector is a vector that represents the position of a particular point on the Cartesian plane with respect to the origin of the plane. Okay, this is the origin. And what would the equation of this vector be then? Equation of this vector is 4i plus 5j. Rashid,
Yes.
5j. 4i plus 5j. That's how you calculate the equation of a vector. Now, using the equation of the vector, how can you find the magnitude of a vector? So to find the magnitude of a vector, what you need to do is you just need to use this formula, ax squared plus ay squared plus az squared. Okay? Then square root all of that to get the magnitude of A. Reason? Because you're just finding out the magnitude. That's why. Simple. You understand what I've written? Do you understand the meaning of this formula?
Yes.
Okay. We know about the unit vector, we know about the position vector, we know about null vector, we even know about the magnitude. But to find out the unit vector, there's actually a formula. Unit vectors can be calculated as well. Unit vector equals the vector itself divided by the magnitude of the vector. To do that, you actually get an equation that represents a unit vector in direction of the given vector. Okay.